Ah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Creator Notes podcast, where we get up close and personal with your content creators and the things that make them tick. Today, we are joined by the one and only onion on the internet, JazzlikeOnion. Hello, Jazz.
Hello, zombies. How you doing?
I'm good. We're just getting warmed up that we kind of started the podcast without starting the podcast, but
Yeah, got right in
we got
the
into
conversation there.
we got into it immediately, and I'm like, oh man, we should start the podcast, really. But no, appreciate you being here. This is the first onion on the podcast.
First herb.
Herb, okay. Yeah, true. Do you know any other herb streamers?
I know a lot of potatoes, actually.
Oh.
And not exactly a herb, but around the community and stuff like that, there's a spud potato. I think there's two spud potatoes.
Actually, I know a potato as well, yeah.
Yeah, like lots of people like potatoes, apparently.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I do like potatoes. I don't like onion.
You don't like onion. Now that's a hot take. If I
no, it's not. It's not even a hot take. It's a reasonable take. I think that one.
I don't know. Onions just go in so many things. How did we go from talking? We literally came from talking about content stuff to now talking about onions deserve.
I think it's important to address that. Where does Jazz like onion come from, and is it that Jazz likes onions?
See, I used to have this really nice, elaborate sort of story behind all this meaning around the name of I like jazz music and I do like onions in food. And what would it be like if an onion was slightly musical? The true story is it's a random generated name from Reddit.
No. Is it actually?
I just hit random a couple of times and I'm like, I like the look of that one. I'm going to use that one. And then it just ended up, I just branded myself completely off that because I didn't like my old username. So I'm like, I like Jazz Like Onion. So I'm going to use that.
That is unreal. I don't know if anyone would admit that, honestly.
Look, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I've got the, when I sort of started getting more into the content creation side of things, the general rule of you get your name on everything sort of thing.
Yes, try to at least.
Try to, yeah. Reddit being the first platform that Jazz Like Onion existed on. I went through and created, it may be taken down now because of inactivity, but I went through and created a subreddit as well and everything like that. I then made a second Reddit account, which will remain nameless so that you still have that anonymity,
whatever it is.
The anonymous.
I'm not even going to try to say it. I know the word you're saying, and I think I can stop it up as well.
You know the word I'm after.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's to keep the anonymous feeling of Reddit. There is another account that I have made that's nowhere even close to Jazz Like Onion, but yeah, it just turned into oh well, let's make this into a content thing now.
So when was the Jazz Like Onion born? When was the brand?
I reckon it was after 2020, sort of start of 2021, I reckon.
Yeah.
So, and it was a case of the reason I started streaming was one of my best mates, Bonk the Lonk. He started streaming just for fun, and I'm like, that's fun. I could do that. So I started doing it as well, and he stopped after a little while, but then I just kept going and then kept going. And then
so this is before or after lockdown? Is it
after lockdown?
Okay, right.
It was sort of during lockdown because
it's okay to admit it that you're one of the COVID content creators.
Yeah, 100% COVID content creator. Well, just like my cat who was around before, it's a COVID cat.
Yeah, I have a COVID
got
cat.
her in 2020.
Yeah.
And it sort of kills me now because I see some people who started at the start of lockdown and I see their growth and I'm like, oh, to have a captive audience again, that would be amazing.
It was definitely a time for content creation, but it also was it's such a weird vibe of, hey, I'm gonna create content, but I can't leave my house. It's so it's and the amount of unfortunately I was one of them, but the amount of podcasts that launched during COVID and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, I can't leave the house, so we're gonna start a
May as well do
podcast.
something.
And then
Yeah.
we're going to talk about how we can't leave the house. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of hearing about can't leaving the house. It's like, so, you know, for me, I think that was I was deep into my GTA RP arc, which was, I kid you not, I was working from home and like, and I'd be sitting in my chair working, and then it got to like 3 o'clock. I just turn my chair 90 degrees, and then I'd log on and start stream, and then just stream all night, and then sleep, wake up, work, GTA, sleep, and that was lockdown. Life. Yeah, that was COVID.
Yeah,
that was it.
I was only thinking the other day that like going into a lockdown now with the like sort of content platforms that I've got and how that would look, sort of thing. And honestly, I would probably enjoy it because I get to do more of what I
You're pretty
enjoy,
prepared.
sort of
You're prepared for the next lockdown.
prepared,
You're ready.
exactly prepared.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, no, I don't want another lockdown, and I'm like, was it all that bad?
I mean,
like,
there was definitely some bad moments.
yeah,
but
there were definitely
at the same
low
time,
moments, but
yeah, there's definitely times where you're, you know, in the office or whatever, and it's just like, man, lockdown sounds so good right now.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Not only do I get to stay home, everyone else has to go home as well.
And I guess a lot of it is like, I always try and look at the silver lining of things as well. So even though there was a lot of negatives of lockdown, and silver lining, the content stuff started, and it was great fun because it was just same sort of thing. I literally went from like doing stuff for work, or I was one of those people that still had to go into work. Got home, all my friends were at home playing games, so I just jumped on, and instead of just playing games, I just played games and streamed at the same time. It was literally just friends playing games on Twitch is pretty much what it was.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that kind of relate to that. I almost want to study it, because like we always start with you know, on the podcast we start with, you know, where's your name and how long you've been doing it for. Basically, it's kind of the starting point. And the amount of people are like, oh, 2020, 2021, or you know, it's nuts. It is we call it the canon event, and it is like if we didn't have a lockdown, would we have all these content creators? Like probably not. That, you know, life was kind of different before everyone locked down, and you know, things like work from home became a normal thing, and everyone discovered how to talk to each other on the internet, which was, you know, for a generation very scary. But yeah, it changed a lot of things, and content is definitely one thing that we've seen. Not just from a perspective of like attitude and stuff like that, but like technology just zoomed.
Oh yeah,
I just realized I said zoomed. The amount of people that learned Zoom.
Zoom triggers me so hard.
It triggered me. That's why I'm like, I have to address it. I did not mean to. That's not a pun intended.
Yeah, we were a Microsoft Teams workplace.
They're trying to get me to use that now, and I'm just like, you can try. Many have.
I just couldn't handle Zoom. Zoom was, I kept seeing stuff about it, and I'm like, oh, this is such a bad thing. Yeah. Like, I saw it as a bad thing from the whole security side of it, working in IT and stuff like that. I'm just like, nah, that's not okay. But
yeah, it's just, but again, you just kind of smile and nod and go, okay, it's fine. We'll make it work. So
we'll do what we can. I actually ended up getting multiple different responsibilities from work, from lockdowns and stuff like that. One of them is actually streaming related as well. I was the liaison for setting up live streams and stuff like that for work. So it ended up that I was doing live streaming at home in this sort of sense, and then I was also doing live streams
at work
from a production sort of sense. So it's like here it's sort of your production and talent, which is a whole thing. And then at work I was just production, and it was great.
I'm kind of the opposite, where there's been multiple opportunities where people will go like at work will be like, hey, does anyone know how to set up a webcam? I'll be like, no, Pablo Inglese, no.
I don't know. No.
Webcam. I got caught out today. Because the guys at work were doing a quiz, because they're not IT focused at all in any way in my workplace, and they're doing a quiz, and they was talking about internet abbreviations,
Oh
and
no.
the first question was, "What is SMH?" And they're all going, "Oh, what could it be? I have no idea what it could be." And I'm shaking my head. And they're like,
Yep.
"How did you know that? How? What did you know? What are you on the internet?" I'm like, "Shit, I'm breaking my cover."
Oh no, I've been found out.
It's like, oh my god! I'm like, oh, it's text messaging, texting. Yeah. That's it.
Texting, that's where it's from.
It's definitely don't just live on the internet, but yeah.
There are some abbreviations that I still don't understand, and I'm just like, I live on the internet, and you're saying something that I don't get. What is this black?
There was one I got stuck on, and then like once I mentioned it, I realized what it was. It was like MFW.
MFW.
I'm like, that doesn't ring a bell at all.
No.
I have no idea. It's my face when.
What?
My face when. So it's like my face when
I
see this. Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, oh.
It's a thing, right?
Yeah, it always is if you don't know what it means.
Yeah, that's really as well. It's like if I don't know, it's usually a sex thing.
But it was good because I got that one wrong, so I was off the hook. I kept my cover of being having no idea about computers or the internet, even though I'm the IT
and
guy.
see, that one would have been even.
If I knew that,
that'd
have been too much. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd have been too much. They would have. They would have known I'm a spy. One last question about the name in particular. Did you have to start liking onions? Like,
no, because I do like. I don't necessarily eat raw onions, but I do like onions in nearly everything.
Okay.
Like onions just enhance flavor.
Yeah.
Really. I do eat raw red onions now in like a burger or something. So you know how I have like shavings of red onions. I'll eat those, but not usually brown onions.
Yeah, I think at some point, like, because I get bacon, obviously. It's like
onions and bacon, they go very well together.
Yeah, but it's like it's at some point. I think it's been a couple of times where I'm just like, I'm done. I've had so much bacon lately. I think I'm good. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
But it perpetuates the brand, I guess. Where now people say I should rebrand as Zombies Love Pizza, because I do love pizza. Like I really do.
Put bacon on pizza.
That's true, and it works. But even then,
bacon's such a strong flavor. Like it's almost a meal on its own sort of thing. Whereas I feel like onions are complementary to.
Yeah. No one's having a bowl of onions for dinner.
Exactly.
Well,
unless you're one of those weirdos that like onion rings.
Super weird people. So yeah, okay. So we want to talk about content and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm familiar with your work, I guess, for the last year-ish, or maybe a couple years now, really. I don't even know. How long's it been?
I reckon long. I reckon I was only doing like content stuff for about 6 months before like looking and interacting with Team OCE and stuff like that. I don't reckon it was long at all.
Yeah, I think like I come across a lot of your stuff through like Quick Save and stuff like that. And that was... Yeah, it was a few years ago. But like, you're one of the few people that I know who doesn't just play, like, you don't just be, I'm going to stream 3 nights a week on Twitch and that's it. It's like, hey, there's this new platform. I want to go play on this. I'm going to try something over here. I'm going to do this. Let's go try this and see if this works. Sporadic cooking streams and other streams. It just kind of happens. And it's like you never know. You never really know when you click on a jazz stream what's going on until you get there. And sometimes you're just pleasantly surprised, and other times you're like, "What the fuck is happening?"
And interestingly, that has both helped and hurt growth at the same time.
Yeah.
My most recent experiment is been effectively becoming full-time Minecraft content creator, instead of being variety effectively and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the amount of growth over the amount of time, it could be along with networking with other creators and other spaces and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
the amount of growth during the amount of time that I've been doing solo like Minecraft
Yeah.
stuff has been exponential in comparison to the entire year and a half of variety stuff. And
Absolutely.
that can just be the nature of things. And it will be a case of if I ever decide, you know what, I don't want to do Minecraft at all anymore, that will create a tank.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on, I think we were talking about this with Pog and Overwatch, for example. It's like, if Overwatch self-destructs tomorrow, what happens, you know? And it's like, it's, and I had the same thing when I got out of the COVID and got out of the GTA RP. It's like, you know, I was playing, say, like Zelda or something like that, and people would just come and go, when are you going to play RP again? And it's like, I don't know. And like, it does, it hurts. I think I halved in my viewership. But at the same time, like, if you're happy to play, like, if you want to play Minecraft every day, fantastic. Go do it.
100%.
But if you want to play
to other people as well, like, if you are happy doing the one thing, then do the one thing. If you're happy doing variety, do variety sort of things and stuff like that.
Yeah, I go insane playing one game. It's just simple.
if I was to give advice to a brand new content creator that's in two mindsets of around, do I want to do just the one game or do I want to do variety?
Yeah,
I would almost suggest go variety. Like, do that first. You'll experience lower growth, but you'll experience more things and more communities, which can enhance your knowledge for when you want to, if you end up deciding you want to go just one game.
Yeah, and if that's what you want to do, you'll just be happier. And being happier doing that means you're going to stream more and your content's going to be better, because there's nothing worse than being like, I fucking hate this game. Anyway, time to play it. It's like, it's like, it's
jumping on a game that you don't want to play or a content creator doesn't want to play really shows.
Oh yeah, and like I had it recently. Should I name the game? Yeah, fuck it. It was the new Hobbit Lord of the Rings game, the Mines of whatever it was, and I played it.
Heard of it.
I don't care. It's good. Good is what I'd say. I think everyone should forget about this. Anyway, it's like I got sent a key and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. I like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I like, you know, crafting and survival games. It was just awful. It was so boring. It was so fucking boring, and I felt bad because I just went, this game is boring. Sponsored by. But you have to, like, your community knows. Like, you can't be like, this is the best game, you should go buy it. I don't know why I'm falling asleep. It's just
exactly.
It's like, no, it's just you can't do it. And like, I've worked pretty closely with a few, like, particularly like indies and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll just message him and say, dude, that was rough. Like, that was a rough game. Like, we found the joy that we found in it, but boy, oh boy, if someone spent $80 and played that game, you know, they're going to have a bad time. And half the time they reply, you go, yeah, no, it's not amazing. You know, but their job as marketing and as, you know, publishers and stuff like that is to get it out there and get it in people's hands and whatever. And like, and sometimes it's like other people go, yeah, I really love that game. And it's like, really? You know, I think there was, I can't remember what it's called. It was some weird game. It ended up on Game Pass, and it was like it's kind of a JRPG, but shooter gore kind of game. And it's like, I'm like playing it. I'm like, this is really weird. But then I had like probably 3 or 4 people come into my chat, and they're like, this is my favorite game series of all time. I'm like, really? And then
Persona, was it?
No, it wasn't. I don't know. I like Persona. You know, just don't tell anyone. But it's like, it was like Gunblade or something like that. I can't remember, but it was something silly.
That sounds familiar.
Gungrave? It might have been Gungrave.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, but anyway, it was worked out well because all I did was got them to sell the game. I'm just like, tell us about the series. You know, is it good? Well, who's this guy? What does he do? And they're just like, fill in the chat.
That sponsorship's easy. Like,
done.
You just
I'm done.
Let them do it.
I just said the phone and like, I think, it kind of depends, but it's like, it wasn't my vibe, if that makes sense. So then my community's like, I don't get why you're playing this or whatever. But then like my favorite story is like, I messaged the community manager. My favorite story is Baldur's Gate 3. When that was coming out, like, I kind of knew that was coming out, and it grabbed my attention when I saw the fuck a bear thing that went viral. And I'm just like,
Yep.
hello. And
You you had my attention.
you have and many other people's attention, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my friend was just like at me. He's like, I've been telling you for years, we've been playing this early access. It's the fucking greatest game ever. We can do some real cooked shit. It's going to be content gold. Just imagine the clips.
That wasn't Judge, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Because Judge was exactly the same.
Well, the thing was, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not going to buy it. I don't know. I said, I'll message them. I'll message the publisher who's doing the stuff with Larian. And I messaged him and I literally said, hey, my community really wants me to play this. They want to make some cooked shit. And they said that there's a real opportunity to make some funny clips and stuff like that. And they literally responded to me, yeah, I respect it. I'll send you a key. So, all right, I guess we're playing it. And then I think I streamed like 60 or 70 hours of it in the end. So, I mean, they got their money's worth out of that. But also, it was like Baldur's Gate's such a weird thing where it came out and it was like the people that knew were kind of like hyped for it.
Yep.
But it wasn't until the content came out that it just sort of exploded. And then every man and his dog's like, oh, I need a key. I want to play it. And how do I get all the drops and all that sort of stuff? And it's like, man, that ship sailed so long ago because no one was like, the lead up to it just was so kind of under the radar, I guess.
Yeah, it was just sudden.
And then once it won Game of the Year, you just saw it again with people like, we're doing Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time. And I'm like, man, it's so such a weird.
At that point, they don't need your promotion anymore. Effectively,
nah, that's it. People were just buying it anyway at that point. It's like it's just it was such an interesting thing. But it's the amount of times where I just listen to my community and they say we should play this game. And I'm like, I'm not gonna buy it because I don't trust you that much. But I will ask I'll ask the publisher if they think it's a good idea. And like 9 times out of 10, they're like, yeah, man, I got you. No worries. The Skull and Bones is one. Before I was even a Ubisoft creator, I messaged the Ubisoft ANZ, and I'm just like, hey, my community really are hyped for this game. I'd love to get in on one of the closed betas. Never get a key though. I've tried, and they're like, oh, what I'll do is they get like each account had like can invite 2 friends sort of thing, and they're just like, oh, I'll just friend you, and you can just have my spare code. I'm like, okay, sweet,
that works.
So I'm friends with Ubisoft, who would have known? Nice. But yeah, but the payoff is my community is definitely showing up because they asked for it.
Yeah.
And I like it, and like the publisher likes it. Everyone's winning, and it's really good, and it's a really nice vibe. And I think that's important to acknowledge that I'm doing it. I'm happy. Everyone's happy about it, doing that sort of stuff. I mean, a lot of people like variety streamer means that I have to play a variety of games that are going to get me the most followers. It's like no. Variety streamer means you play the games you enjoy, and there's a variety. Yeah.
One of the things that I've seen a couple of people do that is effectively shoots themselves in the foot is hype chasing games and stuff like that. Yeah. They'll just play whatever the next hype game is, and going back on that same thing where it's like you can tell they're just not having fun. They're playing it to jump on the hype. Yeah,
and you saw that with Baldur's Gate. Which was, again, you saw people like, oh, Game of the Year? This must be amazing. And then they play it and like they're like, I don't understand what's going on. Turn-based? When was this turn-based? When do I fuck a bear? it's like,
they just wanted the bear eggs.
But I've seen it. I've seen it with my friends and stuff like that. Like Starfield was a great one. Some people loved it. Some people just did not get into that at all. Yeah. And the people that weren't enjoying it, they were I kind of enjoyed the painful, but it was like painful streams to watch because they're like, I just want to get on the ship. Why is it so hard? Why do I have to go over here and talk to this person? I don't want to talk to this person. And then I'll punch a random person and the other people come and arrest them. I'm like, why am I getting arrested? It's like you're not even playing the game properly, but at the same time, I guess that's how you do it. It's fine, but it's,
I remember when Starfield came out because that was in the variety era and stuff like that. And I remember seeing it and I'm like, this just looks like Fallout in space, and I don't like Fallout, so I'm not going to play that game.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not going to stream it.
Yeah, it's and like I suppose that's kind of unique in the sense that there was always the fallback of I'm not going to buy it for $80 or whatever. I'm going to just get Game Pass. It's like
the price of games insane.
So it's like but yeah, it was just so funny because I went hard on Starfield because I just tickled my brain in like all the best ways. And I think it kind of uniquely. Is it Lost Worlds? Lost Wilds? Wilds. Which one's the
Outer
one that's?
Wilds.
No, not Outer Wilds. It's like the other one. There's two. Anyway, it's very similar. It's made in the same sort of sense. Like you go in space, you got to go around and get quests and all that sort of stuff. And I played the shit out of that because it's basically Fallout in space. And I'm like, this is so great. And then they announced Starfield. I'm like, excellent, more Fallout in space. Let's go.
Yeah, and this thing, like, it's very interesting because I love Skyrim. Skyrim is my bread and butter. I love that game. Tried to play Fallout, hated it. Didn't like it at all. Couldn't get into it. And I think that's just because I like the medieval setting more than I like the future depressing post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. It's weird how people really enjoy that post-apocalyptic. Especially Fallout's kind of a weird one in the sense that it's like, do you enjoy the 50s and the future? We've got the game for you.
It's a weird sort of feeling, isn't it? It's like old but new.
Yeah. No, Outer Worlds is the one I was thinking of, and it's an excellent game.
Outer Worlds.
Yeah,
close.
I remember that I played it in such a chaotic fashion that it was just, and again, it was given key. The publisher gave me a key, and I sent them a clip, and it was so chaotic, and they loved it. They said they showed everyone in the office. It was so funny, and it's like because it's that same as Fallout and Skyrim, whatever. And I was at a bar, and I decided that I didn't like the tone of this person, and I'm like, I'm gonna follow them around, and when no one's looking, I'm gonna off them, all right? And then it took him into the bathroom, and while he's in the bathroom, I get out the axe, and then as I'm swinging the axe to like murder this person, the bathroom doors swing open, and the entire pub spots me. I'm like, I guess you're all gonna have to die, and I just run out.
No witnesses.
And it's just people just scrambling around. And they're like, this is not how you meant to play this game, but it's the way I play this game. And I think that's
the good thing about games as well. You can just play them how you want.
Exactly. And look, going back to Minecraft, for example, and I've seen this kind of comment going around. It's like, there's Minecraft, and then there's Minecraft, and then there's Minecraft. Like, there's no one's going in and loading up. This is brand new Minecraft. No mods, no nothing. I'm just learning how to play Minecraft for the first time ever. I don't know anything about. No one has never heard of Minecraft.
You
surely.
say that.
Well, look, if you've got a computer or a child, okay, well, Pog's different, right? But also, Pog's played Minecraft now. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah, he's played Minecraft.
He was the last one.
I can honestly say that he has played hardcore Minecraft now and roughly knows what he's doing to the point where he hasn't died yet. So
yeah, my point is there's Minecraft, and then there's like mini games, and there's building, creative mods.
There's so much.
Yeah, people like go, can we get multiple Minecraft categories on Twitch so we can look for modern Minecraft or look for those sort of things. And
that's where the titles come in handy.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting. Like I've done Minecraft back in the day, like YouTube days, a long time ago. But I haven't touched anything but Minecraft modded since. And like Stoneblog, Skyblock, Sky Factory, whatever, all the different like that shit.
Well, I was very much the same for like ages and ages, because I was like, look, you play Minecraft, you build some things, that's it. Like modded is where I'm at, because I like a goal effectively.
Yeah.
However, now I play hardcore, and I don't know what it is, but something has clicked, and I'm like, I'm actually enjoying the game, and I think it may be the thrill of I can't die. So it's like normal Minecraft, you can die, whatever, no consequence. Now it's like, if I die, I lose everything. Everything that I've built over 200 days, I will lose this, which is why listener viewers are going to miss this. Why I have this broken set of headphones on
I half
my
expected that to come out with like a freaking mounted trophy guy.
It is mounted on my wall up here. I've got a hook.
Oh my God, one of the
So it's
greatest
actually
clips.
on a hook on my wall up here as a reminder not to touch or put my hands anywhere near my head if I die in Minecraft.
See, I haven't done like hardcore Minecraft. I've watched a lot of hardcore Minecraft, sort of,
Mhm.
particularly in the last kind of year, I guess. And like, there's hardcore, and then there's like kind of like unwritten rules to the hardcore. You know, things you
Mm.
can and can't do. It's not necessarily against the rules, but like it's sort of
Yep.
frowned upon, kind of cheesing it and whatever. But I remember like a long time ago, we had we set up a server, invited like 20 odd people, and it was just it's hardcore. That's all. That was the only clause that we gave. We're
Mhm.
playing Minecraft in hardcore. If you die, you can't play anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
How quickly everyone turned on each other was amazing. And it wasn't like it wasn't like I'm going to kill you now. It was just dumb shit like, hey, can you not leave the door open? Creepers will come in, stuff like that. And they're like, yeah,
Mhm.
just can you make sure you put torches down there? Yeah, I will. Creeper comes up, blows up 4 of them, gone.
Yep.
It's like
No more.
just
Done.
chaos, absolute chaos. We lasted 1 day, a single day.
1 day.
And then there was just
Oh.
2 of us left. It was me and this other guy. This other guy was just stoned out of his mind, just building, and not like just like. So I'm like, hey, you want to like go on an adventure or something? He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just chilling.
I'm just chilling, literally.
It's like, come on, man. But it's it was just like the funniest content though. The moment when everything went kind of sideways and people realized that like people were dying and it was going to be over soon was like amazing. And
Mhm.
it's a totally different game once you get to that point
Yep.
of don't just die and respawn and collect your stuff. That's not a thing anymore.
And the longer that you go, the more heartbreaking it is when you lose it as well. I have watched a clip of someone who lost their 5,500 day old
Nah,
Minecraft
couldn't.
world by falling into the void. And
No.
I've never seen someone more broken or just upset before. He didn't even like say anything. It was literally shock,
Defeated.
falling into the void, death, and defeat. Yeah, you're 100%. Just head in hands, shattered. Like,
Yeah, it's
if
cool.
you were to tell me, find someone that you think is the saddest person in the world, I'd show you that clip right then and there. Because it was like, even watching as a viewer, I wasn't even part of the community at this stage. It was that clip got me into the community. But even watching it from the outside, my heart still broke watching this clip, just watching this man break down because he just lost 5,500 days of work. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and it's
That
stuff like
hurts.
that though. It's not like he was having a good run or anything like that. It's like that is a good chunk of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
a
like
lot.
it's losing all the things that were built and all that sort of stuff. And it's
Oh.
like, it makes good bringing it back. It makes good content.
It's a moment. It definitely
It's
is.
a moment. It's 100% a moment. That becomes a canon event, as we were talking about before.
Does he still play Minecraft? You know?
Oh yeah, he's up to 6,600 days now.
Jesus. So he didn't learn at all. He's just back.
Well, the way he died was he was building a build in the end, and he was destroying the end island. And
Okay.
he made like a leaf platform, but he missed the platform by half a block. It was
Yeah.
like the skin of his teeth missed it and then fell into the void. Since then, he's now up to the same point in time. He's actually started the proper build and stuff like that. I definitely recommend giving it a watch. It's The Baked Dean is who it is. He's a US creator, so time zones are a bit savage. I only ever catch him in the morning, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's wild.
yeah, it's honestly it's a great watch, and seeing it's spawned an emote as well. So it's just a emote of a little bean standing on the edge and jumping into the void.
Oh no.
So it's now turned into a meme for the community as well. So it's like perfect.
I absolutely love it when something happens and it gets that meme status, and particularly when it turns into like an emote and stuff like that. And then because obviously those who were there or those who know about it knows what the meaning of the emote is, and other people will be like, oh, it's just a it's just a bean.
Fun emote, nice, yeah.
Fun emote. And it's like I always think of, and maybe slight spoilers for Detroit Become Human, but if you haven't played it by now, what are you doing? And, but
Not
I
having
remember
a PlayStation is what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, it's on PC.
Oh, it is. Neat.
There's a scene in it. There's a young girl that you are looking after in there who's like the daughter of the family, because one of the characters you play is like the nanny, and the father of the family was like abusing the child, like hitting her and being an asshole, whatever.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is that you break the rules of robotics, and you well, depending on how you play the game, you can knock him off, and then you run away with the child, and then you kind of want it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was watching Barjo stream it, and Barjo was being such an asshole to that child that he's like, every time the child's like, I'm cold, he's like, I don't care. It's just like, and then the chat...
I've seen a clip of that.
The chat was like, just kept on saying, come on, stop that. Don't stop being mean to the kid, whatever. And I kept touching him, and now he's got a touch emote that's been there for the whole time. And I always remember it because they were just like, we're touching him to be nicer to this child. It's like, it's so good. But yeah, that was like 3 years ago or something like that. Emote lives on. Some people still remember it.
I reckon I've seen a clip of
There's a few
that.
clips. There's a fluke
Of that sound of like the child saying "I'm cold" and saying "I don't care" sort of thing. I reckon I've seen that clip somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, but those who know the game will know why it's extra. It's extra mean when you get to the end of that game. It's a fantastic. I love that game so much. But yeah, so we should. I want to talk a little bit more around the content side of things, and particularly your content side of things. You stream primarily on Twitch. When I say primarily, because you also, I couldn't actually tell you what platforms you currently stream on. So I'm just gonna. I know YouTube because I see you on YouTube every now and then, but usually prompts me to go to Twitch and watch a Twitch stream.
Yeah, which is one of the interesting things around simulcasting and stuff like that is what Twitch calls it, and I like the word simulcasting. It just sounds nice. It sounds better than multi-streaming.
Yeah,
but
true.
I primarily stream on Twitch. That's where my main audience is, and it's where like all the redeems are. A lot of the interaction and stuff happens through Twitch.
Yep.
I also stream on YouTube, which is sort of just a way to build the YouTube channel as well alongside. So there's a couple of long form content on there. There's a few shorts and stuff like that. That's my project that I want to be working on a lot more this year, sort of thing. But I also stream on a new platform called LiveSpace. And the best way that I can describe LiveSpace is Twitter and Twitch had a love child. Because you've got the posting feature of Twitter.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But it's built directly into the same platform that you stream on. So if you say, "Hey, I'm live on LiveSpace" in the feed, you can actually click on it and it takes you straight to the live stream, much like what YouTube tried to do with their posting, but
which kind of no one uses and kind of
no one uses it. Yeah.
Died.
Whereas with LiveSpace, it's streaming and posting. Like they're the only two things that they're doing.
Yeah, and I suppose you can do that on Twitter, X, whatever your fuck as well, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's kind of.
It doesn't link as well.
No, I've dabbled a little bit in LiveSpace, and all I can say is that they're super supportive and really want the category to grow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I can see at the moment the audience isn't there, and there are a lot of things that are missing, sort of thing. However, I can see the potential of the platform. I can see the idea of what the CEO and the other heads and stuff like that, what they want to do with the platform, and I'm like, I agree with everything that you guys are saying. So I'm going to be streaming there and supporting, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the audience is the hardest part, unfortunately. Yeah, and like people always
like
point
with
to
every sort of platform. Though, is you get streamers first, and then you work on
absolutely, and like. I mean, I don't want to start an argument in the comments, but like people talk about Kick a lot, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, Kick is the true alternative to Twitch or whatever else. But when you start breaking into like breaking down the numbers and stuff like that, it's I can't remember the exact number. It's like between 70 to 80% of their audience are watching the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's like you might have 100,000 people watching the channels, but 95,000 of them are watching 10 streamers, and you have you might have 10,000 people streaming to 5,000 people in total. Like the math ain't there. And like their mentality was we buy the big streamers, they'll bring the community over, and then they'll live in our platform. Doesn't seem to be working. A lot of the time,
people don't want to swap platforms. This is one of the reasons why I like what YouTube is trying to do with have short form, long form, and live streaming, because it's all the one platform. If you were watching a video and the person starts live streaming while you're watching their video, you can just go to their live stream all in the same app. Same with if you're watching a short. Oh, this short is actually off a long form video. I'm gonna go watch that as well because I like the short. It all linking.
It does.
The swapping between each media format is a lot easier when it's all on the one platform. If I have to click on a link on Twitter/X, and that takes me to YouTube, which then I click on another link and that takes me to Twitch, I'm like, ignored already.
The only thing that I will say, and there's two things actually I will say, but the only thing I will say with YouTube in particular is they don't fucking celebrate that they have live streams on their channel.
Oh, you should. Don't even get me started.
All you have to do, YouTube, and you can steal this, it's fine, I don't want anything. Just make it so there's a button at the top that says live, and when you hit it, it just looks like Twitch. That's all you got to do. You're done.
Agreed.
And you will you will take so many, there's so many people that are just on Twitch because it's where the audience is and that's where it is. They want a viable alternative. But the live streaming side of things is just not there for YouTube. It's like, it's so buried in amongst all their, VOD content and ads.
And you say that, but unlike a platform like LiveSpace, which is brand new, YouTube's got bot support. I can use my streamer bot that I use for Twitch. It is directly compatible with YouTube and stuff like that. So I can literally just import stuff over. It's easy to do.
Certainly, I'd say a large chunk of that is the audience driving that. Like, it's the YouTube community that's driving all these bots and changes. And they're like, we want this to work. And Google's like, look, we could take a break between counting our money to maybe listen to you. It's like, come on, Google. It's like, it's for such a big company to be so out of touch sometimes. It's crazy. It's insanity. And the other thing I'd say is that the feature of like interchangeable and everything like that in YouTube works amazing, but you need to put all the different content out there. So you need to have they're not going to see you going live if you didn't put the short out there. They got to click on to begin with, So you got to do the shorts and you got to do that. It's the same with TikTok. You put TikTok up there, and then as you're watching the TikTok, their little icons flashing live, and you can hit it. And for someone who's streaming on TikTok, it actually says so and so just came from your video. Yeah. And then that it's like, oh yeah, sweet. No, it's and it drives engagement both ways. And I could see TikTok's copying YouTube, YouTube's copying TikTok, and that's great because it will end up in a greater space. But it's like, I just wish that like LiveSpace is doing the right thing. Their thing now is they need to get people to know that they exist, essentially.
Yeah, and that's the challenge
and that's the hard bit. Moment. Yeah, because when you Google live streaming, you're going to get YouTube at the top and then Twitch, because they control the search engine, and then Twitch is the SEO ranking and so on. So it's like, how do they break into this space that's already kind of dominated by the big players and everything else? But at the same time, Twitch are pretty good at shooting themselves in the foot. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're basically, this may start an argument, but they're almost going the opposite way Kick did to get big. Is they're trying to do it through like being positive almost, whereas Kick did it through controversy. Controversy grows so much quicker than being positive.
Yeah, so but they're tied. Twitch is tied around the fact that they need to be, I guess, brand friendly in that Amazon family, but also their objective is to make money, and what
they're
it
not
costs.
currently.
Yeah, what it costs to run live streams and stuff like that doesn't make money.
Yeah.
If you have a gambling company with you, then you can do all sorts of amazing things, according to Kick. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like if my entire community is like, yo, let's just go to fucking Kick, it's gonna be great over there. I don't care. Like I really don't care where I'm at. And it's not like there's no loyalty anymore. And I feel like it used to be, I bleed purple and I got a tattoo of the Twitch whatever glitch on me and stuff like that. Now it's like, no, this is my brand and I'm over here and that's where you'll find me. It's not like, hey, come to Twitch, it's great. It's come to my channel, it's great. And I think that mentality kind of changed. And I want to say that a lot of this stuff changed around that COVID kind of period where it exploded and people weren't necessarily, I live on Twitch, I'm a Twitch person, sort of in the same way that like I live on Reddit, I'm a Redditor kind of thing. Like that's kind of the vibe where now it's like, no, this is my brand and you'll find me at this time on Twitch and this time your video comes out on YouTube and I'm on Instagram and like TikTok.
That's what the good thing about simulcasting is, it breaks down those barriers even more. So when I say I'm live, I'm usually live on Twitch, YouTube, and LiveSpace all at the same time. Like I loved that Twitch changed their policy on simulcasting and stuff like that, because it just means you can expand your brand even more and stuff. Yeah. And one thing that, like anybody that I come across, I will always suggest to them to stream to YouTube, not just for the like, oh, you're also building a YouTube channel and stuff like that, but it's VOD storage. At the bare minimum, it is VOD storage in a live stream tab. Like if you were to go to YouTube now and
you can see all your old live streams.
You've got different tabs. What can kill channels is uploading VODs. Effectively, because they're long form content.
That's why people start VOD channels separate to their YouTube channel. Yeah.
What the live streaming to the same channel does is it keeps it under the same name, but it puts it under a different tab, and that tab analytics doesn't affect your video analytics, which is the largest thing. Yeah. Because it means your videos will be doing better separately to your live streams, and it still means that you can have live streams stored for longer than Twitch allows you to store them.
Well, forever.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So at the bare minimum, I always suggest people to simulcast just to have that VOD storage.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, and I didn't realize that they stay there forever. It was only when I was like cleaning up my channel, I'm like, oh, look at this. This is me streaming from my PS4 to YouTube in like 2012. So I'm like, and it was awful, and I'm like, I'm gonna private that one before anyone sees that. But it's it's
like known about Twitch not keeping VODs sooner, because I didn't realize it until I was almost a year into streaming, so I've lost all of those early streams.
Yeah, YouTube. Twitch has been, I don't know, they played funny buggers with it over the years, because at one point they'll like upload your videos to Twitch as well. We'll host your videos, will be the new YouTube, and it's like that lasted like a month. It went nowhere, and like some channels really tried to lean into it, and like you can see my entire back catalog of whatever, and like they'll basically, save their videos, and you could highlight your entire video and they wouldn't get deleted and stuff like that. And like it was always but then like it kind of just. They'd say, hey, do this would be really cool. But then their focus just shifts straight back to live streaming. It's like, well, hang on a second, what's the point? Like, are we doing live streaming or are we doing VODs, or how's it going to work? And, it's kind of like at the moment they're trying to reinvigorate the app, and they're putting stories and stuff on the Twitch app. And it's like,
which is an interesting choice, I think.
It is, but no one, I would say no one, but like no one is tracking their Twitch like it's Facebook. It's not a social network kind of thing. And like they're on Twitch.
Are just, I'm going live. It's like, cool, that's what go live notifications for. Like
legitimately, yes, legitimately. It's like it's okay. I don't know. I always said to them, like, if they could just make TikTok, like they should just make a TikTok, and then all it is, instead of scrolling through TikToks, is you scrolling through clips. So I could just open up my phone and just scroll through clips and have an algorithm that shows me clips that I like.
They've got a clip editor now to edit them into a vertical format.
And send them straight to TikTok.
You can't post it to Twitch at all, can you?
No. no. It's well, you can highlight them now. That's at least that's something, I guess. But it's like just the ability to just scroll through clips that have the algorithm said that I would like, that give me a chance to follow new streamers. That is discoverability, and I'm like, why can't we do that? It's like surely, but I guess everything costs money, and they've got no money. I don't know. Fucking bloody Twitch doing Twitch things. Yeah. Anyway, it's very. I suppose the very important thing that I believe in, and clearly you do as well, is just don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's
exactly right. Yeah.
Because Twitch could be going tomorrow.
As much as you can, yeah.
And like we've nearly lost Twitter a couple of times, so it's
yeah. Honestly, the diversification and stuff like that, it just makes sense. And when I was going through and simulcasting and stuff like that, I had to choose what platforms to go onto because I've only got a certain amount of upload. Being in Australia, I had 20 megabytes of, I think it was 20 gig of upload, or 20 meg of upload. I don't know. I can never remember.
Yeah.
But effectively, I had 20 to divide between all the platforms that I wanted to be on. And at the moment, I stream 18 up because it's 6 on Twitch, and then 5.5 on YouTube and 5.5 on Livespace. When I say 5.5, that's bitrate I'm talking about.
Yeah, bitrate.
At the moment, I'm looking at changing my ISP because it will give me 40 upload instead of 20, and that'll allow me to stream to Kick as well and YouTube vertical, because you'll be able to you can schedule 2 streams on YouTube at the same time.
That's right.
I'll just have one vertical and one horizontal, so I'm on the vertical and horizontal on YouTube. That's double growth right there.
I'd love it if someone like is on their phone and they go, oh, Jazz is live, and they click it. He's like, oh, he's vertical, and they're like, oh, Jazz is live again. Click it again.
Just changes it a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
The one platform I'd probably say I'm not on is TikTok, and that's because I don't consume TikTok at all, and I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't consume it. So I don't understand the platform or the environment, so I can't really create content for it.
Yeah, and absolutely 100% agree. And if you go, I'm just going to send my Twitch stream to TikTok,
that's not going to work.
It's not going to do anything. And I see a lot of people do that. And I mean, maybe like if you're playing Fortnite, you're going to get engaged with all these people going, "Can I play too?" And it's like,
yeah.
But it's apart from that, you're not getting any like meaningful thing. So
yeah, I'd almost say if you simulcast the same format. So if you are streaming horizontal, simulcast horizontal platforms. If you're streaming vertical, simulcast vertical platforms.
Yeah. And TikTok's trying to get into horizontal as much as they can, but it's weird because they want you to upload horizontal video, but if you're watching it vertically, you still only take up 1/3 of the screen. So it's like, if you turn it sideways or hit the full screen button, which will pop up, it'll flash up, hit full screen, and then it makes it the full screen of your phone, or if you're watching it on a browser, it's full screen anyway. But no one does that. Like, it doesn't.
Look, I don't think that
it's
TikTok
them trying to compete.
Going to work.
It's trying them compete with YouTube, and it brings me back to my other comment. So, 2 questions, because these are mainly rumors, but they're kind of like industry rumors, right? There's a rumor that in the much way that you can stream on TikTok, and now you can stream on vertical on YouTube, that Instagram wants to do streaming as well.
Ooh, interesting.
Would you play in the Instagram space?
Well, Instagram, I don't actually have a JazzlikeOnion brand on Instagram at all. However, I do have a different brand on Instagram because I used to do photography. So Instagram is actually my photography.
So back when Instagram was all about photography and yeah,
and it was like, I wanted to put the photos I was taking somewhere. So I was this is a story in its own that I'm not going to get into on the podcast at all. Friend / roommate / other things. At the time, we would go out and take photos and stuff like that, and they were putting all their stuff on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do that as well. It makes sense. So I actually don't have a JazzlikeOnion Instagram at all.
It seems like Instagram in particular, they're pushing for more video content. And I suppose that's their way of kind of getting
that would be
into it.
pushed by Facebook, wouldn't it?
Of course,
That sounds
yeah.
like Facebook gaming is failed, so
I'm
let's
sorry, what?
try on a different
Facebook
platform.
gaming? Never heard of that. What's that?
Exactly right.
No, it's
because
the whole meta business stuff is like all tied into one thing. So you can log into Meta Business, post to Facebook, post to Instagram, and everything else. And I know what you're about to say, which is how all these people moved to Facebook
used
gaming.
To be bigger.
They put money into it.
Yeah.
They paid streamers to come across. They had contracts. And also they brought Mixer. Like they brought Mixer's books. So if you had an account with Mixer...
I don't know anything much about Mixer.
No, you wouldn't.
I hear the name a lot.
You're before it. You're before the time. You're in the before... the before times.
The before times.
Like the shortest answer, the shortest version of what Mixer is, right? Mixer used to be called Beam. Was that what they called Beam It? Because you're beaming it into the internet. It was awful. They had really good technology. They had channel points before channel points were a thing. And like sound alerts and all that sort of stuff was all kind of baked into it. And good bit rate, good quality, good compression, all that kind of stuff. And they had a good community, but like an Australian community, bugger all. But that's not the point. Microsoft brought them and then instantly baked them into the dashboard of your Xbox. So people would like Xbox gamers would turn on their Xbox and it's like, hey, watch so and so on Mixer. They changed it to Mixer. And they spent a lot of money, obviously bringing people over to Mixer, like Ninja and a few others, which turned out to be big brain by them because then within 6 months they shut the doors and said, look, too hard. Basically. And the short answer is too hard because you got to maintain a community. You got to people be dicks and you got to kick them off the community. Stuff Kick hasn't learnt yet. And then and then there's also the cost of like streaming and stuff like that. And then Xbox, like Microsoft, don't need money, but at the same time they're not in the business of losing money. So it's like, no, we're good. And as they closed it, and they closed it very unceremoniously, Facebook were like, we'll take anyone who's partnered on Mixer, just come to Facebook Gaming, we'll set you up. And then they spent money. They hired a lot of like marketing firms and stuff like that to go find talent, scout them out, give them contracts, give them paydays basically to go stream on Facebook. But it was like for a year. And then once that contract was up, they're like, no, we haven't got any more contracts for you. And they went, see you later.
They're just like, peace.
Oh my God, your chair changed.
Look, I'm not in the exact.
It doesn't quite work. Close though, close. But it's
close.
So like Mixer and stuff like that, and Facebook gaming and all that. It's just it's a real sad. It's really sad that they didn't like just hire some community managers and fucking nail that, because the market share, like they had a few percentage. Like Twitch was always the big dog. And all the other ones were like 0.0% of the market, and then Mixer was, I think it was like 5 or 6% of the market.
Yeah, which
so like it's huge for something most people don't know about. And look, a good portion of that are just people that turned on their Xbox, but that's not the point. The point is that they had a good thing going, and they just literally went see ya and just closed it all down, and that was it. And like, if you can imagine, if you were partnered Mixer streamer and had your community and everything over there, it was literally like in 20 days, basically they get like a month's notice or whatever. Just see you later, goodbye.
I mean,
that could happen to Twitch.
Well, that's what happened with Twitch in, was it North or South Korea?
One of them. I mean, it's and that's, again, it wasn't profitable, and it was never going to be profitable. Twitch just went, we're not in the business of not making money.
So we're just
goodbye.
We out.
And it wasn't it technically wasn't their fault. It was an ISP thing. You can look into it if you really want to know more. But basically, there was basically, if you imagine there's like a toll to enter the country for internet traffic, there was a toll going in and a toll coming out of the tunnel. And it's like, why are we paying double everyone else? That's basically what it came down to. It's really a whole just weird scenario.
Those content creators
sucks.
Because, well, what are they going to do? Their only option is, if they want to keep streaming on Twitch, they have to move country. That's their option.
Also, like, and people don't really live it, people don't think big, but like Twitch isn't the biggest streaming company in every country. Like other countries have their own streaming companies. Like China has their own. Japan have a lot of alternatives that really do well as well. Like Twitch is very much a Western community thing, and the whole thing at in Korea was just highlighting that they're just quite happy to lose that chunk of business. And Yeah, it kind of sucks. There was another one that I wanted to bring up, which is something that I've been keeping eyes on because I think it's got some potential, and I think if it works, we'll see a lot of others do it. Is Spotify
Mm-hmm.
and doing live streaming. So
Live
we
streaming
upload
as in with a video?
we upload this video to Spotify. You can watch the video on Spotify.
Oh, there you go.
You
I
can
didn't
put
even.
you can put your Let's Plays on Spotify. No one knows because it's so stealth dropped about it. So you can host.
Where do you even see it?
I just
Because I'm
keep
on
up
like
with
the
things.
homepage of Spotify now.
If you click the Creator Notes podcast on Spotify right now, it'll start playing a video where the album art would normally live, and you can bring it up full screen, and that's how it works. It's they were talking about it for a while. They've opened it up. You can also host your podcasts on there, and RSS feed to other podcast things. Spotify's working. They're working hard, and it's probably because they're ripping off their artists. And we'll probably get shadow banned for saying that, but that's okay.
Holy, that's amazing.
There you go. You learned something.
Learn
So you
something
can
new
you
every
can
day.
you can make. Well, I guess it's not making YouTube videos. You can make Spotify videos and be
Yeah.
a Spotify gamer. It's
Spotify
weird.
gamer.
Isn't that a
that's
weird
the
thing?
next biggest thing.
You could be the first. No, I'm sure someone else is doing it already by now.
Yeah, what a crazy thing. I recently only just changed all my Spotify to be branded as well because people keep wanting my playlists that I
Yeah.
have on stream and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's got my name on it. I can't just give you my playlist.
Yeah,
So I've now branded it effectively so I can.
We had a bit of a crazy stream where we just ended up like I was like we had music on, and it was just because I don't necessarily play music in most of my streams. That's like copyrighted stuff or whatever. But I'm like, I don't fuck it, whatever. I'm like, here you go, guys. Here's the link to the playlist. Just add whatever to it. Whatever. We're
Yep.
gonna be here a while. Add whatever. And everyone went kind of crazy just adding shit. And then they all realized that it puts their name next to each edition. So we see effectively everyone doxed each other at the same time. And I'm like, we'll just delete the playlist now, and we'll just say that nothing happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't see anything.
I didn't see nothing. It's
Mhm.
yeah. I think Spotify. I think streaming, like music streaming and stuff like that, and like streaming kind of services like that. There's a lot of potential, particularly when people are already playing in that space. And if you start to think about kind of YouTube Red or YouTube Premium, I don't know if they even call it Red anymore, do they? Or is it?
No,
just
it's YouTube Premium now.
Yeah. They went through a process where they were buying TV shows and then publishing them on YouTube.
Oh,
And-
yeah, no, I remember that. I remember I bought YouTube Premium to watch the Slow Mo Guys show that they did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was a big fan of Slow Mo Guys and everything else, but the opposite could happen as well, where they sort of, like a Netflix or whatever, just be like, I want this big streamer streaming on my streaming service, and way to go.
Wouldn't
big
that
bag
be
of money.
crazy if like platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus started getting live streamers into the space?
Yeah, like if you had a weekly show or something like that that people turn into, or like a podcast or whatever, and it's just like, you want to go legit, I guess, for lack of a better term, go get paid to be on Netflix and put an episode out each week or whatever. There's no reason why that wouldn't work. Like that, and I think that's where that kind of the bit where the two worlds sort of meet is where Spotify is kind of testing the waters now, where they're like, they already do music, they already do audiobooks, they already do podcasts, and it's like, what if we did all the podcasts? What if we did video podcasts? What if we do podcast hosting? And like my last podcast series was all about, our biggest challenge was getting the hosting up and everything else, because you have like Apple and all them don't host podcasts, they have an RSS feed, so you need to buy web hosting to host your podcast and then feed it into Apple of all things. So like, bitch, you can afford it. Just it's like, why are you creating more work for me? That literally people, have
You guys are $3,000 VR headsets. I'm sure you can afford it.
I have to go pay $14 for web hosting because you bastards won't host my damn nonsense on the internet. How dare you? But yeah, anyway, it's a whole interesting thing. But I think it's important to acknowledge that the playing in multiple spaces is fantastic. You don't want to put all your eggs in Mixer because it'll disappear. And Twitter could happen again tomorrow, and a lot of people set up on things like Mastodon and Blue Sky.
Is that still going?
Well, the thing with Threads is in the way that Instagram is, it's Facebook. And
Yeah.
if they feel like Threads isn't working, they will just take it and they'll shove it in your face somewhere else, and like they'll force it. They'll force it, and they're not Google, and it's not like I want to say, was it Google Plus? What was the social network they used to have? Something like that.
Yeah, Google Plus. I think
it was Google Plus.
Mm.
You know, where they just go, man, people aren't really using it. Delete it. It's like the amount. Yeah, when you look at like Google failed startups, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Although I
Stadia?
kind of, I kind of respect the just, you know what? It's not working. Get rid of it. Like, instead of just having it limp along for like ages, they're just like, not profitable. Cut it.
I can guarantee you what Threads is, right? If you imagine the is it Stephen Bradbury, the ice skater or whatever it is, the guy.
Oh, got the gold.
Yeah. That is Threads, right? He's
Yeah.
just waiting at the back for Twitter to fall over.
Yeah,
And then
no,
he's
I
just
can
gonna
see
skate
that.
on through, and then it'll be like, "Yep, welcome to Threads, everybody."
So that's why Threads hasn't gone anywhere yet. It's just banking on the death of Twitter.
Which, and like, there's been some close calls. Let's be honest.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
some really just weird stuff happens on Twitter, and you go, "Oh my!"
Have you
But yeah,
seen that Twitter's trying to have like a live service as well, like a live streaming thing?
you can stream straight to Twitter now, like you used to. Well, do you remember Periscope? Periscope was Twitter's live service, streaming service, and it's kind of like it was. I think it was its own thing, and then Twitter brought it, maybe, but or it might have been thought up and then launched as its own thing. But the whole thing was like you can go live anywhere, you know, and sort of in the same way, I guess, like TikTok lives are kind of taken over that space now, where you know if you're gonna, I don't know, see some wild thing, you just go live on your phone.
Yep.
Abuse someone, be a Karen. I don't know. It sort of seems really I don't know. It's most
What
of
do
the live
people do
streams.
on TikTok Live?
My favorite, and like I'm mindful we're running out of time, but one of my favorite things on TikTok Live is a guy, I can't even remember his account, but people know him. He's got his little dog. He lives out in the farm, and he's just a really nice guy, big beardy kind of guy, and he's always just talking about looking after his animals and looking after the farm and whatever else. And then he got one of those. It's like a robot vacuum, but it's a robot lawnmower.
Yeah.
And like he's put it out in the yard and everything else, and people were kind of memeing on it and everything else, and I was talking about it, and he's like, so he went live and he just duct taped his phone to the lawnmower and just left it going.
That's content right there. I'd watch
Thousands and thousands of viewers, not just watching but donating, and it was like it got into like the top 10 highest viewed live streams at the time, and people were like coming out, "What is this?" Like, he's mowing the lawn. Oh wow!
Honestly. Unironically, I would watch that and say that exact same thing.
But what was interesting, I'm like, oh, what a meme, you know, it's great, it's a funny meme, I respect it, it's good. And then it's like the lawnmower died, like it broke because he was mowing the lawn too much, essentially, because he just had the live stream going 24/7. And like, if it got dark, there was like a bit where he would have like put headlights on it, duct taped some torches to it or whatever. And when it was going flat, he duct taped like a battery pack to it and all this sort of stuff. And then when it died, he was like live streaming going, "Hey, I'm sorry guys, it's gone, it's broken, whatever." And then the people in chat like, "Oh, what you need to do is pull this apart, whatever." And then after a few hours, he's pulled the whole thing apart, he's changing all the bits and pieces, and TikTok just explained to him, like from live streaming, how to fix his lawnmower, and they fixed it and sent it back out again. Away it went.
They
And
just
I'm
wanted
just
to
like,
watch that lawn getting cut. That's all they were after.
it was like the most wholesome, but also like kind of entertaining. Like I wanted to know how the lawnmower's doing. It's like,
Yep.
and that's the sort of content I live for. I'm like, that is authentic, you know, and it's nuts. And like,
And then you have the people who are like, "Oh, I need to try and do it. I'm literally doing it right now." I'm like, what's something like that I can try and do?
you turn up at your local Bunnings, like, how do I get a lawnmower and a roll of duct tape? It's like, oh man,
I'll become some James Bond villain or something.
Oh man, but it's stuff like that I live for. I love that authentic and that original stuff and the original content. And like I don't want it to sound negative, but like you see too much of exactly the same kind of thing in so many streams, and you're just like, man, what are you doing? Is this you, or are you just doing this because this is what you think streaming is? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good to see people. It's kind of the point of this show is like talk to people and go, hey, you're a little bit different. It's, and like
That's a
we've
nice
already
way of
tallied
saying
up.
you're fucking weird.
Yeah, we've already tallied up quite a roster of
Mm,
individuals. Like if there was no other content creators left on, and there was just the 6 or 7 people that we've done so far in the show, there's still something there for everyone. Like
yeah.
it's like we're not
It's
all
such
the
a broad
same.
range as well.
And that's the kind of the point. It's just to kind of
Yeah.
introduce people. Go, hey, did you know that this person does this sort of stuff? And like, and for yourself, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, if they've ever thought of or considered Minecraft or hardcore Minecraft, they're thinking about it again now because we've just sown the seeds. Like, oh man, I really need to get into that hardcore Minecraft and definitely need to not break my headset. And
That turned into one of my most viewed clips almost instantaneously.
rightly so, because it's also you watch it, it's like, oh, he's just playing Minecraft. He's just talking nonsense. Oh shit!
Yeah, the pure emotion in those couple of seconds and stuff like that.
It's so good. It's so
And
good.
like
So
I was thinking back on it, I've died. This is my 5th or 6th hardcore world, and isn't there like 5 stages of grief or something like that? And each one of my deaths has actually demonstrated a different stage of grief, and that was rage. That one.
Yeah, it certainly was. I don't think. No, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever gotten that emotional in a game. Let's say, like, I don't know. I've definitely raged before, but I think the
just
most
get soaked into it, and I don't know what it is about streaming and stuff like that, but streaming gets me soaked into it even more. Like if I was just playing that by myself, I'd be upset a bit, but I'd more just be like, oh,
it's that hype. You sort of you're in the zone. You go on, and then
it's the heightened of like what emotions I'm feeling. I need to actually demonstrate. I can't just be sit
I
there,
think
no emotion.
the closest I've gotten would be Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring.
Oh.
When you like beat your head against a brick wall for so long, and then you feel like you're going to get through that wall, and then you just don't. Fucking me. It's like I think I don't play those games because like as much as I like enjoy a challenge, I don't like it when the challenge is mocking me. And I feel like that's where Elden Ring comes in. They're like, it's like, come on.
Same thing. Like, who was it? I think it was. Is it Margit, the first like major story boss? I had 100 deaths on Margit trying to get through. And then I did, and I was still dying afterwards. I'm just like, this just makes me feel bad. Like, I'm not enjoying this. And that's where the variety comes in, where it's just, I was not enjoying it, so I just swapped game. Like, some people who were there for Elden Ring were like, oh, damn, no Elden Ring. But they stuck around because they were there watching me. They enjoy Elden Ring more, but they were there watching me rather than just Elden Ring. And like they could tell as well that after 100 deaths through Margit and still dying afterwards, I was just having a bad time. I was not enjoying it at all.
I think the bosses and stuff like that, yes, frustrating, but I was very quick to be like, we'll come back later. You know, it's like, I'm going to go grind this level 1 guy for another 5 hours. Then we'll come back.
I couldn't do that. I was like, I have to kill this guy now. I'm now like...
I'm the guy that's like in Final Fantasy. It's like you first kill the first boss and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the first area again and get 7 more levels and then we'll go overpowered real quick. But I remember like the big frustration, particularly in that game for me, was like, I'm like, all right, we've been doing all this farming, and then someone would drop out a tree or whatever and kill you and be like, I need my souls back. I need my bloody whatever it is. And I'm like, and then you're going back, and then as you're going back, a crow hits you. And it's like, I need it back. I need to get here. It's, like, it's not even about the game. I just need to get my shit back.
You were going back to get your souls as well, and you die on the way to get your souls. You've lost them, and that is more defeating than anything else.
That's it. I think there was one case where it's like I have to go through like this massive mob of people. I'm like, I'm going to do it, and we'll get my shit back. We'll be good. And like got them all, and then like it was about to get my shit back, and then fell off a cliff or something. So I was like, I'm done. It's like, this is shit. I hate this game. Yeah. But then you end up coming back. It's like, I'm not going to let it fucking defeat me. And I think I wouldn't have done Elden Ring if I didn't do it with friends. Like we added the always co-op sort of thing. Because then it's like I'd be just fucking dying, and then Biggie would be like, "Oh, come help, yeah." It's like
Yeah.
it's like, "You okay, champ?" It's like, but yeah,
And I
it's such
thought
a
I was gonna enjoy it as well because I played through Fallen Order on the hardest difficulty
no, I couldn't do
in
that. I
that
tried
sort
that
of
as
thing.
well.
And I actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing Fallen Order in the hardest difficulties sort of thing. Did punishments every 5 deaths. I did push-ups or sit-ups and stuff like that. However, for some reason, Elden Ring just feels worse. Like, it just makes you
It
feel
mocks you.
bad.
That's why it
Yeah.
mocks you. It does stuff to you and it laughs at you. Like they should add a
Mhm.
laugh track to that game. It would be amazing. So next time it's you think this thing's gonna you like sneak up behind something and you think, oh, it's good, and it just turns around, one hits you, and then it has a laugh track. That'll be amazing.
Yeah. Well, the DLC is coming out. Who knows? That could be part of the DLC.
I think it's a great idea. This should be a mod for that. If someone could do it, so every time you die in Elden Ring, there's a laugh track, like fucking Seinfeld laugh track or something like that.
Yeah, the canned laughter. Yep.
Oh man, it'd be such a it'd be so rough. But
Or even the laughing baby. The laughing baby is so mocking sometimes.
I hear it anyway, so I mean they don't have to add it to the game. I just hear the game laughing at me.
Yep.
I am mindful that we are out of time, so we do need to wrap things up. But I did want to say before we get into the last kind of bit is, where do you see yourself going forward in content wise? Like, are you seeing more Minecraft in your future? Are you feeling more variety? Like, how are you?
At the moment, if I just look at my desktop, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sticky notes. 3 of them are Minecraft ideas and plans and stuff like that. And I have so many, even stuff that I haven't written down. I've got so many content ideas that center around Minecraft that I don't think that's going anytime soon and stuff like that. There's a lot of the innovation and stuff like that I've got planned is usually streamer bot, and as I said, I can't remember if this was in the podcast or we hadn't started yet, but getting the interaction during streams continued after just chatting sections and stuff like that. A lot of what I've got is working on that side of things, keeping that chat going. But I don't see Minecraft going away anytime soon. I feel like there's
enough there.
Yeah, there's enough there, and I've sort of hit my stride at the moment where I'm still enjoying it, and I've got lots of plans that I am actually looking forward to implementing and doing, sort of thing.
Excellent.
And the other thing is it ticks the getting the community involved. For instance, the most recent grassroots nominations, that is debatable whether that's happening. Another story.
Just Twitch things.
Just Twitch things. I said is part of my nominate me for grassroots thing. I said, anybody who nominates me for grassroots and tells me they nominated me for grassroots, I will build you a room in this house in our Minecraft world. So I've got like 20 or more.
Nice.
I think it was either 20 or 30 houses or rooms to build in this house that I'm building on the Minecraft world. And that's community interaction, community involvement, and something that people can watch and see grow. And that's what I see Minecraft as. It's literally a medium for community and content interaction, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, I'm trying to think of there's not really anything better. Like, in terms of community-based games, I don't think there's really anything any better.
No, and because Minecraft is so open-ended and sandbox, that's the sandbox allows you to like do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like there are other survival games, however, other survival games don't have the creative aspect. There are other creative aspects, but then don't have the suspense of having to survive in hardcore as well.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. And I think also Minecraft is probably one of the very few mediums where it's kind of universally understood.
Yeah,
it's like you see it, people go, oh, it's Minecraft. It's straight up. I mean, it's been in The Simpsons. They had a Minecraft episode of The Simpsons. It's kind of
people
wild.
know.
It's like, yeah, they know it, and I think that's good because it saves you going to explain it, and
Having to explain the game every time,
yeah, and I've had it recently where like I've played like kind of bizarre JRPGs and people are like, what is this game? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, sorry, but I don't know what's going on right now. And so I think that's good, and it's kind of a safe thing to sort of be like, okay, well, I've got my game, I've got my audience, I've got my community. That's your canvas, and it's just a matter of just coming up with ideas and doing whatever you want to do with that. And I think that's fine. It's really, yeah, it's a good thing to understand. And and I've kind of fallen out of the whack of thinking like, I used to know, oh, we're playing this game, and then we're playing this game, and then we're playing this game. But now lately, it's like we're playing a game.
We're playing. I know I'm going to be streaming. I can.
Yeah,
I can
I'm
say
going
that
to
much.
play something. But yeah, it's just I'm kind of, and I guess that's just that's where I'm at the moment. Is I just play whatever I want to play at the moment. It's like there's no drive, and sometimes it's like I'm going to finish this game, or we're going to finish this game, and whatever. But then lately, it's kind of been like, things like Skull and Bones came out. I'm just like, I love being a pirate. I'm just going to be a pirate forever. And then it's
and that was fun. I did enjoy playing Skull and Bones. However, I'm already done with it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So, and then you got like Power Word's another one. Yeah, Helldivers is a different thing. That's different though. Helldivers, I'm not okay. Look, I understand this podcast has gone long enough. Just a quick little short moment for Helldivers. All right, one of the most fun games, and like people have said that Helldivers has replaced the Roman Empire in most men's minds, and I agree. I think it has. But Helldivers is kind of like is a kind of a cuck in a way that they keep breaking servers or having like they keep stopping you and limiting you just as you think you're like, oh man, I'm really enjoying this. They go, servers are broken, come back tomorrow, and it just makes you want it more.
It makes you want it more. Yeah,
it's like, let me in.
Yeah, so if anything, it actually helps them because they're like, you want to keep coming back. It's like, I must do more.
They keep making it so appealing for people to come play this fucking game, and then they keep hitting cap, and it's like, stop telling people it's good. I've started telling people it's a terrible game and they shouldn't play it. It's actually malware. It's gonna mine Bitcoin on your hardware if you download it. Do not play Helldivers.
They're actual bugs in your computer.
Stop playing Helldivers so I can play Helldivers.
We don't want democracy. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's such a I remember Helldivers for me was like, oh, Helldivers. I remember playing Helldivers, and then I saw the trailer and I'm like, hey, it looks kind of cool, and whatever. And then it was like, for me, it was the TikToks, and it came out and like people, it's got the bloody rock music going, and it's just like stressing rains of bullets and fire on the horizon and bugs going everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, why am I so erect right now? So I kid you not, this is an actual fact, right? I had $0 in my bank account and I'm waiting to get paid. Helldivers has come out and I'm like, oh man, when I get paid, I'm going to get Helldivers. And then something came up on stream, and then as a stream meme, someone donated some money, like $50, and like, yeah, you look like you need a pizza. You should go get a pizza. And I went and got Helldivers.
Yep.
I'm like, it's fine. I can get a pizza when I get paid.
I enjoy the game so much that so often I've got 2 IRL friends I often game with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask them to. I went and bought and gifted them both Helldivers. So I've bought the game now 3 times. And
you're not the first person to tell me that. People are like, oh, I brought this game 5 times. I bought it for this guy, and I brought it for this person, and I brought it for that.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not even going to make the argument. I'm going to let the game speak for itself. Here it is. Thank
you know what I said?
Later.
I said, stop fucking doing that. I want to play the game. It's at cap already.
Yeah.
So, man, it's just a game. Like, it's just like fun. Like the objective is just easy and clear, and like,
and the music is top tier.
And like, it doesn't nickel and dime you. It's not like, hey man, if you want a cool skin, this is $70 or whatever. It's like, no, you just keep playing it. And you just keep getting cooler shit. And it's just fun, and I enjoy it. And I'm sure that if I had been able to no life it this entire time, I probably would have been done with it. And
I'm probably going to be playing it this afternoon after we finish this podcast.
I probably will play tonight as well. It's like, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's so rare to have a game where everyone just goes, this game is fun, and no one disagrees, no one argues, nothing. And I think the funniest meme, because it is a PlayStation published game, the first one that they published on PC at the same time as PlayStation. The funniest meme is like everyone's like making the memes of like trying to fight the automatons, and it's hell on earth, and we'll never, we're losing the war. And then there's all these other memes sprung up. It's like, just call in your Xbox friends. We'll help you. We can come play too. It's like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. But it's so like normally the argument would be stupid PlayStation and stupid games. But no, this is the first time I've seen Xbox being like, can we come too? It's like,
like let us play, please. Send in the Xbox reserves.
That's it. They've been training on Halo for years. It's like, it's crazy. And like people would say, like people that like have been commentary and stuff have been like, this game, the only thing that's like hurting this game and like making it suffer is that it's too successful. Like it's too successful.
That's all I've seen as well.
The CEO, like he's like, guys, and like he caught himself out because he goes, guys, we brought more server space, everyone can play. And then like 20 minutes later, he's like, when I say everyone, like it could still cap out. I didn't mean everyone. I'm sorry. I just like, and that's the CEO of the company. It's like,
I can just imagine that CEO right now. He's loving life, but he's also like, we're now too successful. What am I gonna do?
He's very unfiltered on Twitter, and we kind of respect it. And like, there was one post someone pointed to where someone like commented at him and was like, hey man, fix your fucking servers. I can't get into this damn game. It's always fucking a cap, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, man, it's a new game. We're struggling to get on the servers. If you don't want to play it, don't play it. Like, you can play other games for now. It's fine. Come back later. Yeah. And everyone's like, are you meant to be telling people not to play your game? It's like, I can fucking do whatever I want,
Yeah, like he's got the most concurrent players on Steam or whatever. Like, he doesn't need that one complainer anymore. He's like,
well, I mean, someone said that like the Helldivers was capping out at like 10,000 players. The first game was that was their peak.
Yep.
And now we're, I think they said 650, 750 per system. So it's like PC and PlayStation. So it's like over 1 million. It's
and nuts. They made I've only recently discovered they made Magica as well, which is
a great game.
Yeah.
It's a great game that was really underutilized. A lot of people sort of slept on that one, but it's a solid Magica, and Magica 2 is really good. I really like Magica 2 in particular. But yes, we should wrap it up because we can talk about Helldivers forever.
Correct.
And we need to get out and spread some democracy.
Yeah. I'm doing my part.
I love it because I have Starship Troopers memes on my channel, and people are like, oh wow, you put this in for the game. I'm like, no, I've had these the whole time.
These have always been here.
So it's
this is the Starship Troopers meme. Always has been.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and yeah. Anyway, we'll start the Helldivers podcast next week.
Yep, done.
Before we do wrap up, though, we'll get you to pitch yourself. Where can people find you? All your different platforms. Please tell me you've got the same name everywhere.
Yes, I do have the same name everywhere, which is amazing of having a unique name. So I am mainly on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Livespace are the main platforms. You will still find me on Kick and TikTok under the same name as well. Don't go searching for the YouTube one at the moment because it is currently broken. So YouTube doesn't exist right now. However, it will be back in the future and stuff like that. But
there you go.
Really, the main spot to keep up to date with everything is the Discord, which is in all the like Linktree links and all that sort of stuff as well.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll start that Helldivers podcast soon enough.
I
reckon actually it would take off, but it's definitely the right time for it. And listen, if you have gotten this far in this podcast, we do appreciate it if you would like and share and comment. Comment down below why Helldivers is the best game that's ever been made and why Helldivers will never die. And just type Helldivers.
I just want to see the comments full of "I'm doing my part." That's all I want to see.
Spreading freedom and democracy.
Yeah. Sweet liberty.
Give them some liberty.
Yeah. There we go. That can be the outro thing. If you've made it this far, comment I'm doing my part down in the comments.
That's it. That's all we want to see. If you type anything else down there, then you're not doing your part. So,
yeah.
But apart from that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye. Oh, he disappeared.